People start showing up here soon. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give a shout out. Let me know all who's here, and we'll get started here soon. Hey, Keeper, welcome. How you doing today? I'm going to be doing a double batch today. Hey, Kels. I decided to go ahead and show people how to make the clam cakes that we usually make. How to come out nice and fluffy and everything. I don't know if I should go ahead and get started or if anybody's going to be cooking along with me. Good to hear, Keeper. Good to hear. My neighbor's going to be on her way over because she's going to enjoy some of the clam cakes once they're all finished. I just hate to get started too soon before people actually start showing up. But, hey, Grandma Vic, how you doing? You going to cook along with me today, or are you just coming to watch the recipe? I cheat my recipe. I use canned clams because it's already got the clam juice in them. But if you use fresh clams, you just cook them up with the water and save some of the water for steaming. Hey, Tanya, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Hope you had a good birthday the other day. Grandma Vic, Kay Kels is actually my niece. That's my niece Kelsey. And my neighbor just showed up. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll get this I guess we'll go ahead and get the show on the road so we're not keeping everybody waiting. If you're cooking along with me, go ahead and get your oil all heated up so that your oil's all ready. And I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a double batch on these today instead of just a single batch. Alright, here we go. Alright, once you got your mixing bowl, you want to have 2 cups or 1 cup of flour if you're doing a single batch. I'm doing a double batch today, so I'm going to put in 2 cups flour to start it off with. And just for the record, I don't usually use measuring spoons when I measure out my other stuff because I just pour it in my hand. I've done it so much, but for helping everybody, today we're going to use the measuring spoon. Alright, you got 2 spoonfuls of baking powder, teaspoons, per cup. That helps to get them nice and fluffed up. So we start out with all the dry ingredients first. And then, of course, pepper to taste. And then just mix that all up until it's incorporated real good. And then you want to add in your eggs. One egg if you're only doing single batch with 1 cup. 2 eggs for 2 cups. Get those partially incorporated in there so the yolks all broke up. Then you want to just pour in your clams. I would have used 2 cans, but I made some the other day and ended up using the clams. And now for the milk. And as you pour in the milk, there's no specific measurement. What you want to do is you want a good consistent batter that's not too thick, but not too thin. You want something that's scoopable but flows. We just add in a little bit at a time, and you'll see it start thinning out. So Sorry guys, the wrist is a little wonky on me today. And usually what you do is you'll preheat your oil while you're doing this, because this will technically set for a few moments. Still a little too thick. So we'll add in a little bit more, and I'll show you the consistency once it's done. If you go too thick, they don't fluff up like they're supposed to. So how you guys doing all today? I hope y'all cooking along with me. If not, that's okay. You can always come back to the video later because I will have it posted to public. All right. That's about the consistency you want right there. You see how that just falls off? Not a whole lot of clinging. Once you have that consistency, you're good to go. You can just let it set until your oil gets warm. Hi stuff, today we're doing clam cakes. I got the recipe posted in the description if you want. And then we'll come over here. Let's see, temp on the oil. Oil's pretty good right now. So what we'll do, once this is all situated, make sure you take your thing out of it. And I have one of these little ice cream scoopy thingies. This is actually a dough ball or a melon ball, or for different size melon balls. And all you do is just scoop in a little bit and then pour it in the oil. It may not seem like much in the little ball of scoop that I've got here, but as they become golden and fluff up, they'll start to get a little bit better. Getting a little difficult to... I do apologize for the mess, but this is a messy recipe. And every once in a while you can just give it a little stir. And you don't want to do too many at a time. And as you can see, I did spill quite a bit on the sides, but that's okay, that'll clean off afterwards. Sometimes they'll flip on their own, sometimes they won't. They get them nice and golden brown on one side and golden brown on the other. Hey Amy, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Oh, they're very delicious, very delicious. And the same base recipe with the eggs, the flour, and the baking soda, the baking powder. If you mix those together, you can put a little spot of vanilla in it and whip that all up with it. Throw some cinnamon, a little bit of powdered sugar, and then you can make an icing dip on the side using some powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, some cream cheese, and have little cinnamon bites. And they're usually pretty good. Yeah. This is a recipe. They used to make these up in Rhode Island. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been lived up there since 1994, or 91, sorry, when we moved down to Florida. But we used to go to Cape Cod, and they would give you a bag of these for like $1. And they were always so good. Let's see if we can get right in there. Now, if you're allergic to shellfish, this is not something you definitely don't want to make these if you're allergic to shellfish of any kind, because clams is a shellfish, and it can potentially make you sick. I mean, all in all, it's a pretty good recipe. Hey, snakes. If you missed me mixing the ingredients or making the ingredients, you can always go back to the beginning, watch it from the beginning. The recipe's all in there. Actually did a double batch on these today, so it's going to take a little bit longer. My neighbors loved them, so I'm doing a double batch, and I'm going to send some next door. I just hope everybody's doing good today, and hopefully if you're making the recipe along with me, you'll enjoy them when you get ready to eat them up. And of course, you know, you want your paper towel, your cookie sheet to absorb the grease. And it's just a matter of getting them nice and golden brown on both sides. Yep, we're good. And there we go. They don't always come out the same shape. They don't always come out the same size. Now, I've heard of people taking and putting them in the mix of batter into an ice cube tray to make them all the same size, but I don't recommend it because it doesn't fluff up in the oils. And if you're out there and you're young, make sure you get your mom and dad's help with it so you don't burn yourself in the oil. This stuff is scalding, and if you get it on your hand, it's going to blister and leave a mark. Now, Tanya, here's a recipe you can make. I know you probably still haven't made those potatoes yet, but this is a simple recipe, so easy. And like I said, with the base ingredients, the flour, the eggs, the baking powder, you can make anything with them. You can use the milk to thin the flour out. Haven't tried it yet, but you could probably do little coffee bites. You have to come get these while they're fresh, Kelsey. You know they ain't that good reheated. They're always better when they're fresh out of the oil. That's the best way to eat them. I mean, yeah, you can. Hey, Kazoo. Sorry, I keep thinking kazoo because I see it. I know it's Kazoo. I'll get it right eventually. I promise. Cuzzo, I'm making clam cakes. I got the recipes posted in the description if you're interested in it. It's a simple 1 cup flour, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and milk is the base ingredients, but you can have anything you want. Well, snakes, I expect everybody to behave themselves in here and be polite and kind and not be mean to anybody. So, yeah, I guess it would be the same rules as the beach. A few more minutes on these. Yeah, not quite done yet. A little bit more goldening and then they'll be good. Oh, they're delicious. I say if you ever hit Rocky Point, if you don't cook very much, if you're ever up in Rocky Point, Cape Cod, see if you can find some clam cakes because they are just delightful, especially when they're fluffy. You got to watch out though, because some of them they'll be hard and cakey. No snakes. You got to get. I got to get to know you better, bud. Sorry. Sanford, I'm not sure, hon. I don't know. I've never been to Sanford. I don't know where it's at. There we go. Another batch all done. And then let's see, we got how much we can get in here this time. Ouch. This is a little bit of work to get them scooped in, especially with a double batch, but I tell you what, the end result is worth it. And I'm sure you can probably come up with a different way than a scoop. You can probably use like a, I don't know, a tablespoon. You can use a measuring cup to put them in. I wouldn't recommend more than a eighth of an inch or 1/8 measuring cup. Sorry, used to using rulers. But try to keep them small. You can make them bigger, but the smaller ones stay fluffier longer, and they come out a lot better tasting. Welcome, Mr. C. You made it. That's okay. I got the recipe in the description, and as you can see, I've already got some fried up that are really, really good looking. It's on the other side of Orlando. Okay, so that's probably out by Longwood and whatnot. Oh, they are, bud. They are. And my neighbor's here, and she's going to munch down a few and take some home with her because she's got some family members that had some last time I made them, and they loved them. Yeah, I know where Longwood is. That's a long drive from here, Kels. And let's see, I'll get you a little bit closer of a look in there. You see how it's bubbling out on the outside. That's all the air pockets from the baking soda, allowing it, or the baking powder, sorry, not baking soda, baking powder, allowing them to all fluff up and build up those nice little delicious air pockets inside that make these things so fluffy and tasty. And it's a simple recipe. Like I said, anybody can make them. And I'm sure you can add other flavored things into it. You can probably make the same batter, put little chicken bits into it, and instead of using water and 100% milk, you can use like a little bit of chicken broth. Just make sure that your chicken or whatever meats that you're putting into the batter are cooked prior to put it in. Kels, I don't know if my truck would make it out there, hon. I'm actually surprised Beachy ain't in here. Or did he say something in here? And I was looking at the pot. It's so good to see everybody, though. I thank you all for stopping in. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Mr. C. Awesome, bud. So you'll be able to make this recipe. There we go. Another batch done. Nice. Look at that. Nice and golden. And like I said, you can even use this recipe. Add some nutmeg into it. Add a little bit of nutmeg, and make a little chocolate glaze using a little bit of cocoa powder, powdered sugar, the milk, and you could have little mini fried donuts. You just omit the clams and the clam juice, and just instead of anything else, use straight milk to make the batter nice and thin. And no, Grandma, I cheated on these here. There's no good clams down here in Florida, so I had to buy them from a can. The only ones they have down here, they call them clams, but they're actually quahogs. They're not the same, though they advertise them as clams. But, I mean, they still come out the same way. The canned clams, they're pretty preserved. I mean, I know fresh would be better, but you'd still have to steam them and save the reserve liquid that's got the clam juice in it, so the breading or the dough ball has flavor when it's fried. And we're almost there. I think after this is going to be one more batch. Oh, of course, Grandma Vic. You guys are amazing. You guys have a positive personality. You know, you guys always spread the love around. You know, there's never any hate, and that's the kind of people I want to hang around with on YouTube. You guys are just incredible. You and Grand Pito are amazing. And like most of the people that come into my live stream, they're very, very nice. Okay, Kels. You doing good though, right? Mateo's doing real good. Good to hear. Kels, since you're my niece, if you want to let people in here know your news that you shared with me, you're welcome to. Not about the Longwood, but the other news. Well, be careful, cuzzo. I know you're staring at the deliciousness of these clam cakes, but make sure you're paying attention to the road while you're driving, bud. I know Beach would probably kill me if you got into a wreck. I know you don't want to do that. Get in there. No, I wasn't talking about the nursing thing, Kels, but yeah, that's good too. I remember you sent me the text on that. I was talking about the other little thing that has to do with Mateo. Thank you, Grandma Vic. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. There goes another batch. And the best thing is, making these, there's usually no leftovers, which is why I tend to make a double batch. They come out that good usually. All right, now we're getting on the last little bit. And then once this batch is done, we'll crack one open so you guys can see what the inside looks like on these when they're done. And that's it. You always want to make sure too you rinse that pan out, or mixing bowl out really good, because if you set it in the sink the way it is without rinsing it, that rotten seafood smell is going to get you. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming on in. And honestly, I'm hoping some of you guys are making these at home with me. Well, you're not supposed to hit your phone that hard, Snakes. Now, I've seen people take these and dip them in different sauces. The way I like to eat them is just with a little bit of salt on it with a salt shaker. Break it open, salt it, and then take a big old bite. While that's simmering, They're nice and golden all the way around. Once they're golden, they're done. A little bit longer. Oh, these things come out so good. I can't wait. I'm just keeping to one side here, so I keep the hot ones in a corner. Oh, that's cool. I got to show you the way one of these came out after this is all set. You guys are gonna love the way that one of these turned out, the way it looks, the shape of it. And then of course you get all your little scrapings and your drippings. Those are also very good to snack on the side. And there we go. Full tray of clam cakes. Now I'm gonna bring you guys with me here. Take this in with my salt shaker and meet my neighbor in there. All right, we still there? Now, take a look at the little ducky. Or baby chick, whatever you want to call it. As far as they go, when you pull them open, see all that puffiness? Just a little bit of salt on it's all you need. Mm. Absolutely delicious. They are. Well, here you have it, folks. New England style clam cakes. Julie, you want some?
Yes.
Doing good, Ashita. How about you? Now, if none of you guys have made it before or you want to make it, just make sure you got your oil nice and hot before you throw the batter in the fryer. Do it, like I said, little tiny scoops. It makes them nice and small. So when every one that you break open, they get that little puffiness in there. You can see all the air pockets. You don't even need to use salt on them. Just you can dip them in a sauce if you like sriracha or whatever you like to dip on your seafood. And they're absolutely incredible. When we were growing up as kids, we used to get a bag of these. And that was back in the 90s. You get a bag, probably about the size of a cell phone, tall, about that wide, and they'd fill it all the way up. You'd probably have about 9-10 clam cakes in it for $1. They're probably way more than that right now. I'm just so happy you guys could be here to see it, and I really hope you enjoy the recipe. I'm actually surprised it only took 35 minutes or 30 minutes to cook it all. So as you can see from the time it takes to start heating up the oil before you start your prep work, you do your flour, your baking powder, your pepper, or salt if you want to add salt. I don't recommend adding salt. You get all that mixed up real well so the baking powder gets incorporated and the pepper gets incorporated with the flour. Crack in 2 eggs, or an egg if you're doing the one recipe. Pound it in there, make sure the yolk's all busted up, make sure it's all loose and runny. Add in your clams with the juice, mix that all up, and then pour in some milk until it's nice and thin, just like I showed you at the beginning. And by the time it's done settled, the baking powder has its reaction inside the flour mixture. And when it goes in the oil, the heat allows it to puff up. Hey Shuby, you missed it, bud. Made some Rhode Island clam cakes, New England clam cakes. I don't know, Ashita. I really don't know. That's okay. I could save some for you, but you'd have to get here pretty quick because my neighbor and her family like them too. They'll probably end up devouring them before I get the drive by. But they are, you know, you just tear them open and just, I mean, look at that. You can't get any better than that. You can see the little bits of clams in there. In the laser shed, bro. Oh, open the door, man. Don't let that stuff burn you up. Can't beat them though.
Oh man, I forgot I had a call
All right.
the tax relief that guy.
Well, if you want to grab you a bag and grab some to take with you while they're hot. I'm in Florida, Snakes. Odds are you're probably not going to make it here. Not before they're gone. Oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah, I enjoy cooking from time to time. Figured just as something else that I could show people that I know how to make stuff.
How much?
Take as many as you want. I'm probably gonna eat about maybe 4 or 5 more, and that's about it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I could throw them back in the deep fryer a little bit, and they'll get a little bit darker and crispier. But yeah, I don't know if they got these kind of clams in Texas. We used to get them up north. We'd get the long neck clams. One of the beaches we used to go to was Apponaug Beach. Pretty sure it was Apponaug. They had the clam beds, but they were really good.
Alright, you sure?
Yeah, take some more. I don't mind. It's a cheap recipe. They're easy to make. And I think the can of clams cost maybe $2. Yeah. And of course, you get that big bag of flour, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup, or 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 egg, a small batch. I made a double. I may have to bum a smoke or 2 off of Tommy later, because I got the pipe.
I don't know if he has any but box got.
All right. Yeah, it's cold up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm originally from Rhode Island. Now I'm in Polk County.
Alright, thank you.
And it's probably the worst county you could live in. I mean, by far the worst county ever. I really wish you guys could enjoy some of these. Oh, nice. That's about 30 minutes from where I live. I'm in Polk City. Congratulations, Snakes. Awesome. Well, maybe as time passes, we get to know each other. Maybe we meet up for a cup of coffee or something. And we can go a live stream. Oh, that sheriff's crazy. He's a good man, but he's crazy. He's got wild ideas. I think the wildest one that he's turned around and told people was, if somebody breaks into your house, just blow them right back out the door they came in, because they're not going to want to leave. Alright guys, bear with me a moment. I'm going to go grab myself something to drink, because I forgot to grab that when I made the clam cakes. There we go. Congratulations, Snakes. Oh, best in the world. And it don't take much to fill up either. Yeah, I like that one too, when he told the media that, and they asked him why they shot that guy that was accused of killing a police officer. He told the media, we ran out of bullets. That was crazy. But I mean, just Polk County, he could have just knocked on somebody's door and said, hey bud, we need some ammo, you got any? Because you know Florida, you know this area should be, everybody's got firearms down here. And honestly, I don't think that's ever going to change in this state. At least not with Grady Judd. There's some that don't want anybody to have it, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, I have some too. Oh yeah, and you never know who's got one either. I went out to the Tenor Rock shooting range one day, and they had this old lady out there, had a 45, and I guess her husband was next to her. I mean, they had to be in their 80s. That's how old they look. They look like they were in their 80s, and he had a hand cannon. I mean, this thing was like Dirty Harry. And of course, I use this here in honor of one of my grandfathers. Bourbon blend is what he used to smoke. Can't find the brand that he smoked before, but I got something that was pretty close to the same smell. Snake's not got anything to do with the American spirit. It's got to do with home protection. Grady judges don't believe in that a criminal should have the right to break into your home and get away with stealing stuff or causing harm to anybody. He's not saying, do the wrong thing, and because you're going to get in trouble if you do the wrong thing. And it's just the way it is, But I'm glad you guys got to come in. I'm glad you guys got to see me make the clam cakes. I wanted to do something different, show people, I don't just build stuff out of wood and stuff out of metal, or, I make just about everything there is. I can take normal ingredients just like that, simple, and turn it into something extremely delicious. Welcome, Bella. Just a little bit, Snakes, but that's okay. I know you're not that old. You just got to watch how you phrase stuff and make sure your timing's right when you're making statements, because when you're texting and you're not actually physically vocal, it can really change a conversation quick. And yeah, Texas. Yes, sir, Bard. You missed the recipe. My neighbor took some home with her, but I still have some left that I'm willing to share. Nice, delicious Rhode Island clam cakes. Or I should say New England style clam cakes. They came out beautiful, super tasty, and my neighbor, they actually tried them a week ago and they loved them. Unfortunately, I had to cheat and use canned clams, but you know, when you gotta make do with what you got. But yeah, they are very, very delicious. The recipe's actually in the description, so if you want to get the recipe and make them yourself, you're more than welcome. I use the can of snow minced or diced clams, either way you go, minced, diced, or chopped. You just got to make sure you keep the water and everything that comes in the can so you can add that in to flavor it. Nah. I mean, I'm not going to say nothing, but Beachy watches the show, he's going to see the comment, so. You're kind of telling on yourself there. It is what it is, though. I'm at least fortunate I was able to come up with the recipe for them, because I loved the clam cakes growing up as a kid, and you can't get them down here in Florida. So having that recipe, and the funny thing is I don't have a recipe book, it's all up here. I probably should write it in a recipe book, but I never think to. They are snakes. And like I said, you know, I got the recipe in the description. You can copy that down, and you can have your mom, dad, whoever, big sis, big brother, help you make it, and they can do all the frying and stuff. You can mix all the ingredients, I'm sure. But like I said, make sure if you're going to eat them, make sure you're not allergic to any kind of shellfish. Because if you're allergic to seafood or shellfish, if you're allergic to eggs, you cannot eat them. There's always that risk, you know. That's cool. I mean, when I was 8 years old, the only thing I was allowed to cook was a box of macaroni and cheese or canned SpaghettiOs, and the occasional hot dog and hamburger. And the extent of the seasonings my family used was basically salt and pepper on everything. They barely ever used any other kind of seasonings. And when I moved out on my own, got old enough, had my own place, I got myself a spice rack and started learning how to experiment with cooking different things. Yeah, I do too. I actually had my dinner today. I used some that Goya adobo seasoning with some flour and some egg, and battered up some chicken tenderloin, deep fried it, and then put it in the my little Emerald oven to finish it off, to get it nice golden and crispy on the outside so it's not so greasy. And then I did some fries and threw them in there with it and air fried them, so there was no oils and grease dripping off of them. These here actually Fortunately, the grease don't stick to them with the canola oil. I try to use a blend of canola oil and vegetable oil. I've tried the Everglades and I really didn't care for it. It just I usually use my own spices, my own seasonings. The two main ones that I use the most often are garlic powder and onion powder because I like the taste of the onions. I just don't like the texture of an onion. And never could understand why, but I mean it is what it is. And it's like certain peppers, I like the flavor of the peppers, but I don't like the texture of them either. Yeah, hamburgers are easy to cook, snakes. Those are kind of hard to mess up unless you only just singe the outside of it and don't cook it. I had a sous chef tell me one time, if you take the palm of your hand like this here and you tap that little meaty part right there, just keep your hand relaxed. That's a rare steak. You touch these two and tap it. That's medium rare. And then you have a medium steak, medium well, and then that's well done. And it's all based on how this little pad right there on the side of your thumb feels. When you touch that pad of your finger and then you poke that piece of meat while it's cooking, if it feels like that, you're at that right temperature and right, well, you bring it up the temperature, but that's how you know it's done. And then you let it rest for 5 minutes, let all the juices soak in and settle in the meat, and that finishes off the cooking. You can kick the mushrooms off, but I'll take the Swiss burgers. A little bit of ketchup, some mustard. I pick up little different things here and there, and just the whole concept behind having this channel is to show people different things that they can do on their own that are so simple and so easy that anybody can do it. I mean, they got people out there that make things look more complex than they are. You know, I mean, building simple things. Shuby, I know you haven't been in my chat before, so I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I built my own laser engraver. And one of the toys that I made was this little thing here. I showed this in a few chats. And all it is it's a block of 4x4, cut 3.5 by 3.5 square, painted it gold and laser engraved it, and now I have Pinhead's Lament Cube. Bella, it was easy to make. You get your block of wood, you draw the shape that you want on it, and cut it out. And then the rest of it is a matter of lining it up. You use a square and a rule so you can get your measurements. I didn't buy that one, Kazu. Or Kazo. I actually made that one. But I'm glad the clam cakes came out. It was a success. If anybody wants to see anything else, a recipe I may know, sure you could, Kazu or Kazo. Hey, I'll get it right. I promise I will get it right. All you have to do is you have your size that you know, and then you just draw it out. Well, tape measure is easy to read. I don't know. Yeah, I do have one sitting by me back, actually. Let me see if this one is. Come on, lock in. Nice. This one's not locking down. All right. Your top line is your centimeters. Bottom line is your inches. Each one of the little lines in this here is 32nd for the tiny ones. The next ones up from that are a 16th, and then the next line up that sticks up even higher is your eighths, and then your quarter sticks up a little higher than that, and then when you get to the midpoint, it's a ½ inch. So all your little lines that are in there, the little tiny ones that are at the bottom that are short, are 32nd. The next one up is a 16th. The next one up from that is an eighth, and it's like an elevator. It'll look like it's going up higher. By the time you get to the middle, it's a ½ inch. So each one of your longer lines is an inch, or I should say the longest line. And it works similar with the millimeters. You got 10 millimeters per centimeter. 5 millimeters is a little bit higher than the single millimeters, but they usually don't do ½ millimeters because they're too small. That's awesome, Shuby. I got a Ohmtech K40 CO2 laser. Ex-brother-in-law gave me because he couldn't get it working, and when I looked at it, it had a cracked glass tube on it, so the laser head was actually cracked. I found one of those on eBay and got it and fixed it up, and found out the board is shorted out. Hey Beach, too late. Clam cakes are all gone. Everybody ate them all. And they were delicious. Nah, I'm just kidding. I got a few left over if you want some. I made a double batch because my neighbor, she came over. All diodes. Yeah, the one that I built was a diode. Yeah, Kelsey, Julie didn't take very many. They're getting ready to eat dinner. She didn't want to spoil their dinner. What are you confused about, Kels? Was it the what confused you? The tape measure? Well, anyway, while I'm waiting on her response, Shuby, the diode laser I built, it says it's a 40-watt laser, a diode laser, but the reality of it is it's actually not a 40-watt, it's only a 10-watt. Oh, Bella, you know Beachy's going to go back and watch. He always does. Kelsey, are you there? I don't know what you're confused on. I don't know, Beach. Kelsey says she's confused. Oy. Oh. I don't know. Nice. Very nice. I did some digging to see if maybe I could bypass mine and increase the wattage, but I need to add more diode heads inside the laser itself, so it's actually not worth bypassing. I'd have to redo the entire circuit, new MOSFET, new resistors, new capacitors, bigger fan. But I could stack all the diode heads so that each one pops into the prism. As it comes down, it shines into one beam. Shuby's pretty cool. He does laser engraving stuff like I do. I don't know if he has anything on his channel. I don't think I've seen anything on his channel. Hi, Lynx. Welcome to the chat. Yeah. Yeah, crypto coin mindset, trade intuition, art of crypto. I know you're there, and Bedell's there. Well, I know Shuby subbed to me. He may not have his things set public because I haven't seen him in my my subscribers list. But I know he's subscribed to me. I'm subscribed to him as well. I just watch for them when they go live on Fridays, and sure. I know I got it here somewhere. Let me see here. I know what I did wrong. There's beet cheese. It should be. You should post some of that stuff that you're doing on your laser on your channel, man. I guarantee you get views on there. People love seeing that kind of creative stuff. That's why I started doing it. And you can do like I'm doing, you know, and instead of having these people that aren't showing the step-by-step. Oh, I've seen you don't have anything on your channel. But if you, you can actually record your laser engravings, and if you have like an editor or something, you can speed it up, slow it down or whatever. And do like I'm planning to do, you know, and explain in the detail how the stuff goes together, how each thing does, how you get to that area, because I've looked online on YouTube on a lot of these channels that people do laser engraving, and nobody's telling anybody how to do anything. That's one of the reasons that I'm trying to do this, is to show people exactly how to do it, not just, you know, like they're sitting there and they'll pull up a block and they'll say, okay, you got this, and then they'll pull up something else, say you got that, and then they'll say you got this. They don't give you no dimensions. They just show it being hammered together, nailed together. Yeah, but Shuby, even though they're doing the laser thing, one thing that I've noticed is they're not going into detail on how they're doing it. They're showing you the program with the image, and then it cuts to the laser. They don't show you any of the process of how they've got the design laid out, how they transfer it. Like light burn, they'll show you tutorials on light burn, but they don't show you how to actually fix things if something glitches, how to fix the glitch. That's entirely up to Beach Snakes. I came on to do a clam cake cooking show to show people how to make the clam cakes, and it seemed to go pretty well. I mean, I got 12 likes out of it, so that's a good thing. And showed them how flaky they were, how puffy they are inside. It's just delicious. The Louisiana hobby guy, I've never actually seen him. But like I was saying, though, the majority of the ones that I have seen, they're showing how to the laser works, but they don't explain any of the details on it. Or if you do anything other than laser, I mean, you could just show working on your vehicles if you do that. Our friend Mr. C has a channel now that's not a very interesting podcast, and he does podcasts on his channel. With you and Craig. With you and Craig, or just me by myself? Yeah, I'm already getting ready to do one with him next Wednesday, I believe. We're going to go into details on hammers, why there's so many different types, and what the purposes of them each are. Okay, Shuby, I'll check them out. Most of what I've learned, I've actually learned it on my own. Trial and error, figuring it out. It's how I ended up building the laser I built. It was all put it together, got an MKS board, touch screen that would incorporate and work with the board, and now I have it to where it's hooked up with Wi-Fi capability. Okay. I took an IQ test back when I was, see, how old was my daughter when she was 4? 2010, because my daughter was taking an IQ test in kindergarten, and she told me to take one. She showed me the website, and I took one, and she told me to take a picture of it, and now I can't find the picture. But it came out to be a 171. But an IQ test isn't really anything. I mean, it's all in how fast you answer the questions. Most of them, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just how fast you're picking through and what type of answer you give. Because like they'll do patterns, they'll show you a pattern and say which one closely resembles this pattern. Most of them don't even resemble the pattern, but you pick one out of it that looks like what it. And the only thing that would be any different would be like when they do the numbers sequences, and you tell them what number comes next in the sequence. Those are fairly easy if you know numbers. Wow. That's not bad though, that's average. Einstein's IQ was only like a 135. His was just a little bit above average. I mean, at my age now, being 50 years old, age is a factor on it. The IQ ain't going to be the same now. It's going to be a lot lower because I'm older. So, in technical sense, it's not really a good test to administer to see how smart somebody is or how intelligent somebody is. It basically, an IQ test just tests your capacity for intelligence. Doesn't mean you are. It just says what capacity you have. And depending on the type of person, you may not even get a good high score on it, but be a smart person. It's got nothing to do with intelligence at all. And a lot of people seem to think that it does. It really don't. Because I've known people that didn't do very well on an IQ test, and they were pretty smart. What's Bing Bong, Kels? Yeah, I know, Beach. But I'm going to go ahead, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this stream since the clam cakes are done. I'm going to get my end song going here. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. I'm going to get my end song going here. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. Well, Why? Because I'm ready to be done with the stream, Kels. Clam cakes are over with. That was mainly the thing I came on to do, was to do a recipe of clam cakes.
One hell of a creator. Hoping all the left stuck tied to you.
Yeah, Shuba, you can do it right directly from your phone when you log into YouTube. Well, you have to have 50 subscribers at least. How many do you have? You've got 9, so you wouldn't be able to do a live, but you could definitely do a video recording and upload it. You gotta have 50 subscribers at a minimum to be able to do a live. Well, it's the end of the show, Beach. Alright, guys, thanks for coming in. I know I hit the pause button. Let's see, I'll go over the top fans real quick. We've got Kelsey, number 1. Shuby, number 2 slot on the top fans list. Number 3 is Stuffed. Number 4, we've got Snakes and Stuff. Number 5, my buddy Beachy. Number 6, Cuzzo. Number 7, Mr. C. Thanks, Mr. C, for coming. Number 8, Eyes of Art. Number 9, Bella the Fella. And number 10, Tanya. Thank you guys for coming on in. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys later. And I'll probably be talking to Beach here shortly. Later, y'all.